how do I explain this? You will actually die. Poor Carrie. I mean, seriously.
Do you have anything to say, Bruno?
Welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah, and we are going to go through the 11 books that I read in October. We're going to go through these books in order from least likely to recommend them to most likely to recommend them. Yeah, lowest to highest is the vibe today. I'm pretty proud of reading 11 books in October. I finished my master's degree in September, so I got to really dive back into reading after not being able to do as much as I would have liked because I was doing school after my job, which wouldn't necessarily recommend, but you know, now it's done, now it's over, and everything is great again. And now I can get back into what I want to do, which is read pretty much anytime that I can. So let's just get started, shall we? So in order from least liked, least loved to most loved, at the bottom we have Power Play. Power Play is the second book in the DC Stars series, I believe it's called. I also read the first book this month, but it's a little bit higher on the list. So I gave Power Play 2.75 stars. I liked it at the beginning and I was enjoying the characters. I thought Piper was really sweet. I liked her as a character. I like so far in this series that there's a lot of like female empowerment, especially in the sports industry. So I appreciated that. And I was in the first half, and it just lost me in the second half. I just didn't believe it anymore. I thought there was going to be a bigger conflict than there actually was. I was expecting a certain character to kind of come in and ruin everything, or at least attempt to ruin everything, and that didn't happen. And I felt like they were just kind of annoying. Our main male character is the goalie. I want to say his name is Liam? I think his name is Liam. I'm positive that his last name is Sullivan though, because they call him Sully. How do I explain this? He doesn't do relationships because like hockey's his relationship. Hockey's his focus. Hockey's his whatever. Like I don't have time for relationships. And that's all fine and good, but it got annoying where he like could not fathom being a professional goalie and also being in a relationship, like being a professional hockey player, even though multiple people on his hockey team were married or like have relationships. And so like, what do you not believe? Like, what is impossible about that? I don't understand. I just didn't get it, and I thought it was annoying. Yeah, it just wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. It was not my favorite. I still gave it 2.75 stars. Like, I could see why other people would like it, and I like this series. Like, I liked the first one, you'll see. I'm going to keep reading this series because it's hockey time. So I do love to read a hockey book while watching the Sharks slowly climb out of the bottom of the rankings. Yeah, maybe if you liked the first one, read this one because it might be for you. It might, like, we might not be the same at all, and that's totally fine. And if you loved this book, I love that for you. But for me, it's a maybe. Bordering on a no, but we're gonna go with maybe. Funny enough, in the 10th spot, we have Face Off, which is the first book in the DC Stars series. But Face Off was much better. I gave Face Off 3.75 stars. I actually really liked Face Off. I like the whole idea of having, you know, the first woman to be in the NHL, and she's also sick. Like, she's so cool, obviously, because hypothetically she would have had to prove herself to such a degree to be able to overcome all of the bias and the whatever. Like, I loved it. I thought Emmy was awesome, and I thought, what's his name? I do not remember his name. I liked them both. It kind of gave me the same vibe that Mile High gave me, where at first I did not like the main male character like at all. Just like I didn't like Xander at all because Xander's not very nice at first. and I didn't like whatever his name was very much at the beginning. Like, he was fine, but for Emmy, I was like, no, like, this guy's kind of a loser. He wasn't taking his captain duties seriously at the beginning of the book. It irked me. But he turned it around really quickly, and I really liked their story. I liked her being hyped up by him and how excited he was to see her thrive and do so well, and he was just so excited to support her, and I really appreciated that. So 3.75 stars for Face Off. Definitely recommend. I would absolutely, like, yes, this is a yes, this is not a maybe. Hi, are you here to cuddle? In the ninth spot, we have Leviathan Wakes by James S.A. Corey. Now, I read this because this is part of my, what is it called? What did I call it? I think I called it my space adventure course. I created these two courses for myself, a space adventure course and a classics course of mostly books that I already own that I am trying to read by the end of the year. So this is one of them. This is the first book in the Expanse series, which was adapted into a TV show. I believe it's on Amazon Prime, if I'm remembering correctly. And I watched that whole thing with Aiden, and we loved it. We thought it was really well done. The main reason I'm reading this series is the show didn't finish all of the books. Like, it didn't adapt all 7 to 9, something like that, of the books into the TV show. So while it did end and one big arc was wrapped up within the TV show, another was being set up kind of at the same time that we never got to see through. So that's why I'm reading these, is I need to know what happened. And I thought this was pretty good. I gave this, let me look at my list. I gave this 4 stars. I did mark it. I also wrote in it a little bit, some reactions, and I thought it was really good. I liked, obviously, like a book versus a TV show, that I could kind of see into their minds more, because obviously it's a book. I thought that the TV show did a very good job about adapting this. Like, I could visualize exact scenes from the TV show that were so similar to this. So that was really cool. Basically, James Holden, Jim, he ends up becoming captain of a ship through a kind of series of disasters. And he and his crew find this huge secret on an abandoned ship, which happens to be tied into the disasters that caused him to need to be the captain in the first place. There's a lot of like political intrigue happening. And at the same time, we're also following, what is his name? I can't remember anyone's names today. We're also following Detective Miller, who is searching for a rich girl. He gets basically commissioned. He's like kind of a policeman, but it's not really the same thing. He works in the belt, in the asteroid belt, which has been like colonized. He's an investigator. He's investigating this missing girl because her family is trying to find her. And his investigation leads him to find James Holden, and you kind of go from there. There's a lot of questions that don't get answered until later on in the series, but it's very interesting, especially I think as the books go on, just like as the show went on, you get more into the politics of this world, because the main players are Earth, the Martians, and then the Belters, the asteroid belt, people who like grew up on the asteroid belt, so they actually can't withstand the gravity of Earth, which makes them like even more marginalized and seen as less than they would have been just for being belt workers. Not only are they, belt workers, but they also literally can't withstand the pressures of Earth, so they're definitely looked down upon a lot, and it's really good. So I enjoyed this. I think I enjoyed this more having watched the TV show than I would have otherwise. Now you want to cuddle. Look at how cute he is. Next up on our list, 8th on our list, is the 7th book in the Zodiac Academy series, Heartless Sky. Are you watching me? I also gave this book 4 stars. I thought it was good. I am enjoying this series. However, I'm taking a break from it because I think it is just dragging on so long. And what happened at the end of this was so obviously avoidable. The like big conflict at the end only happened because some of the characters were like, well, we don't have time to go tell the other people what we have to do, so we're just gonna go. Why would you not tell everyone where you're going when like the worst person in the world is actively trying to kill all of you? It's just so stupid. They've made so many stupid decisions, and I know that they're like college kids or whatever, but they're also like high ranking at the college, and I know that's because of their power mostly, but they're supposed to be like the leaders of this world, and that's the decisions you're making, and you're supposed to lead these people. Will I finish it? Yes, because I only have 2 books left, but I just can't. Maybe next year I will continue it because I need to know what happens, and I need to see our antagonist get what he deserves. Would I recommend this? Oh, I don't think if I said I would recommend Leviathan Wakes. I would recommend Leviathan Wakes. It is good, especially if you like sci-fi. Like, read it. It's good. It's fascinating, especially as I assume as it goes on. Would I recommend Heartless Sky, the 7th Zodiac Academy book out of 9? Maybe. If you're committed to finishing it, then yeah. Would I recommend the series as a whole? Maybe. I don't know. I feel like it's dragging on. I feel like there's some things where I was like, what? What do you mean they're gonna go off to this secret magical place to train and we don't really see that at all, but then you come back and you're sick? Okay. I still gave it 4 stars. I'm gonna keep reading them. So, take what I say with a grain of salt. In our 7th spot for October is Dungeon Crawler Carl. Yes. I've been got. I've been taken by the Dungeon Crawler Carl cult. I'm in. I am solely listening to the audiobooks for Dungeon Crawler Carl because these are the best audiobooks I have ever listened to. And I love a graphic audio. And this is not a graphic audio, but it might as well be. This narrator, and I can't remember his name. I think his name is Jeff something. Can't remember off the top of my head. I'll put it on the screen. He is incredible. He changes his voices like no narrator I have ever heard. It is remarkable. And if you have heard anything from Dungeon Crawler Carl, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is so impressive. If you read the books and you weren't super into the books, I would highly encourage you to listen to it. It changes everything. I do not think that I would like this book as much as I do if I had read it. For example, it's like a role-playing game book, I think is the right phrase, right term, like RPG style book. Basically what happens is the world is kind of taken over by aliens, but it's not like what you think of when you think of aliens. It's not like Marvel, trying to kill the aliens and they're like in the sky. No, basically everything in the world just collapses all of a sudden, and the entire world is like underground in the dungeon. And this dungeon that you can enter is actually just an intergalactic TV show, and you're trying to get through all the levels of the dungeon, but you will actually die. Like, it's not a video game where if you die, you come back. You die. So, your life is on the line. Anyway, because it's kind of a video game style thing, you have all these stats, and you get these new achievements, and there's loot boxes and all this stuff, and the way that the narrator changes his voice for the video game effects, for example, like the new achievement, I think if I was reading these new achievements, because sometimes there's a lot, I think I would just kind of be glossing over them, like, yeah, whatever. But hearing the narrator do it is so much more exciting. I would, again, highly encourage you to just go listen to it, but even go listen to a sample or any Dungeon Crawler Carl sound on TikTok, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's so impressive. Would I recommend this? 100% I would. Absolutely. One of our good friends, Matt, suggested that I read this. Basically, like, told me I had to read this, and I'm so glad that he did. He actually got me 3 more Audible credits so that I could keep listening to them, because I was telling him about how my Audible credit didn't renew for a little bit, so I was kind of waiting to continue reading, and he sent me I think he called it a gold loot box. So thank you, Matt. That's very kind of you. Oh, this is hurting my knee. Freaking old lady problems, dude. I hurt my shoulder in my sleep. I can't say crisscross applesauce for very long. In 6th place for October is actually just the next Dungeon Crawler Carl book. It's Carl's Doomsday Scenario. I'm not going to tell you anything about this because I don't want to spoil anything. I also gave this 4 stars. I'm enjoying it. What I will say is that, and I kind of thought this in book 1 too, I'm excited to see more, to learn more about kind of the behind the scenes and the politics and the whatever for the aliens that have conquered Earth. There's a lot we don't know about all of the aliens in this intergalactic world because we're very focused on the dungeon, and rightfully so, and I'm very much enjoying that. I don't wish that there was less of that, but I am curious to learn more as we keep going. So also 4 stars for Carl's Doomsday Scenario. Absolutely, I would recommend this. You should totally listen to this. It's funny, it's kind of silly and stupid, but also so sad. And like I said, political intrigue kind of going on too, that we only get snippets of, which arguably makes it more interesting. Instead of laying out everything that's going on, you kind of just have to get hints as you go and piece it together yourself. So, which is basically what Carl's doing. In 5th place, we have Soul Searching by Lila Sage. This is my first book by Lila Sage. I haven't read her other series, her like cowboy series, but I might. I really like this. I gave this 4.25 stars. This is about Collins, who goes home to Sweetwater Park. Not Park. I always think that. Sweetwater Peak. She goes home to see her family. Some stuff's going on in her life, and so she decides to go back home. She also used to be able to see and interact with ghosts, and now she can't hear them anymore. I think she can still see them, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, they've gone silent. She can't hear them. So clearly there's something going on with like the mess of her life, and also the fact that she no longer can hear her ghosts. And they're not like spooky ghosts. They're like friend ghosts. She goes and stays with this man named Brady because she doesn't really want to stay with her family members, and Brady is now like a family friend, a recent family friend, and has an extra space, and so he agrees to let her stay with him, and obviously they get to know each other, and it's a romance novel, so I'm sure you can see where that goes. I really like this. I thought this was sweet. I think Lila Sage does a really good job at describing like the atmosphere and the setting. I thought Sweetwater Peak was an interesting place. It's set in Wyoming. I don't know how much of it is like real. Like, is Sweetwater Peak a real place, or is it modeled after a real place? I don't know. I've never been to Wyoming, and I felt like I knew exactly, like I could see exactly what she was talking about and like feel it, and I don't always have the easiest time imagining things, so rude, Car. I would definitely recommend this. I think this was really sweet and cute. In 4th place, we have Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. I also gave this 4.25 stars. I really liked this. This was a great October read. Spooky, atmospheric, a little scary. Like, sometimes I was actually kind of scared, and I'm a baby. I get scared easy, and I was worried that I was going to have some nightmares with this book. I don't think I did, but it was spooky for me. I like this. I read this in, I think, one day, like in a 24-hour sitting, maybe in like an 8-hour sitting, because it's thick, but it's not like tiny font or what am I trying to say? It's not tiny font. The words aren't like super squished together. So it was really easy to read. And I really liked this. So I would absolutely recommend this. I thought this was great. I definitely want to read the next one. Enchantra, I think it is. I definitely want to read that. In third place, we have another awesome October read, which is Carrie by Stephen King. I've never read this, nor have I seen the movie, and I do intend on watching the movie, but apparently there's a couple, and I don't know which one I should watch. I don't know which one is like the best one, so maybe I'll watch it someday. But this is great. I mean, I feel like most people know, or at least have heard of Carrie. Maybe you know, this is all I knew going into it. That there was a scene with pig's blood, the prom scene. That's really all I knew. This was awesome. Poor Carrie. I mean, seriously, like she was doomed from the beginning. There was no way she could have been fine. Like turned out okay. Her mom is insane, absolutely nuts, and these children were horrible to her. Absolutely horrible to her. But I really liked this. Apparently, yeah, it says this was Stephen King's first novel. I did not know that. This is great. It's also super short. It's like, I think it's less than 200 pages. Yeah, it's literally 199 pages. So if you haven't read this, definitely read it. It's scary, but it's more just spooky. It's not exactly scary. Some of the things in Phantasma were kind of scarier than this. Basically, Carrie is, I mean, I kind of said this already, but her mom is nuts and uber crazy religious. Like, I don't even know the right word for that. Let's just go with uber crazy religious. And she raises Carrie, you know, to kind of be the same way, sort of. She punishes Carrie by locking her in a closet. Carrie is relentlessly, mercilessly bullied by kids at school. And Carrie also has some telekinesis powers. And eventually she gets her revenge, is what I'm going to say about that. Definitely recommend this. This was great. I gave this 5 stars. It's my first of 3 5-star books this month. This was awesome. You should read this. In second place in October, we have Mate by Ali Hazelwood. I think I read this also in like 24 hours, I want to say, or something close to it. I absolutely ate this up. I devoured this. I loved this. This reminded me how much I liked Misery, and getting to see more of Misery and Serena's friendship, I really enjoyed that. I feel like they are real people, which is kind of funny for a book about vampires and werewolves. But they seem like real people. Whereas, another thing that irked me about the DC Star series is at their girls' nights, maybe I'm just being a hater, but the conversations that they have in those girls' nights do not seem realistic. It seems like very idealistic, or like what you might think gets talked about at girls' nights, or I don't know, maybe I just don't have problems like they do, or like talk about my feelings like that. I don't know. It just seems unrealistic. Whereas these people, for being vampires and werewolves, actually seem like real people. And I just love Ali Hazelwood. I just love her. I thought this was awesome. I love that, just like she did with Bride, she puts a, sentence or two, like a little blurb at the beginning of each chapter from the male main character's perspective. I think that those tiny little glimpses into the male main characters are just awesome for this series. I also love that we got, an interconnected standalone book. I would love more, but I don't know if there are going to be any more from this. But I do love this world. I thought this plot was very interesting. I just love this, to be honest. This got 5 stars. I 100% would recommend this. This is awesome. Earning first place in October is Direbound. This was incredible. In Direbound, there's basically 2 countries, like the wolf country, kind of just, that's not really it, but stay with me. And then the vampires, and they're at war, and like have been at war for forever and ever, and tale as old as time. And the vampires are stealing children from the like place where the wolves live. They've been stealing children, not wolf children, like real human children. And our main female character, Marin, her sister gets stolen, and she decides that, well, she has to go to the front to go save her. She has to go find her. Nobody is doing anything about these kids being kidnapped. Like, nothing is happening. It's been going on, and it's been ramping up. More and more kids are getting kidnapped. So she decides that she has to join the army. She has to enlist and go to the front. But unfortunately, or fortunately for her, this is the year or time or whatever that the bonded trials are happening, which is where all of the recruits are forced into the bonding trials, where they have the opportunity to bond with a dire wolf. Even once you bond with a wolf, you still have all of these other trials to complete, like training to complete, to prove that, you know, your connection is good, you can be a warrior, whatever. It's very Fourth Wing, but with wolves, like War College instructors and classes, and they can speak, you know, in their minds to their wolves just like they can with the dragons. Like, I loved this. I love this. I thought this was so good. This ending was insane. It was so good. And there was stuff that I had predicted, but it didn't annoy me that I predicted it and I was right. I was kind of like, just like, oh, duh. Like, obviously I knew that was coming, but there's also many things that I didn't predict and was so shocked by. I'm so excited for the next one. I think it's Fury Bound, and I don't think it's coming out for a while. I posted a video on TikTok of me reading this ending because I was so, like, holding my breath in anticipation. I was so nervous but so excited. Like, I could not look away. I absolutely love this. I would 100% recommend this. It is violent. They do not spare you. This is violent. You have to read this. If you like fantasy, if you like fantasy romance, romantasy, if you liked Fourth Wing, read this. Read this. That's it, Bruno. Those are the 11 books that I read in October. It was a solid reading month. Almost everything was 4 stars or above, except for the DC Stars books, but that's okay. We're gonna keep going. If you read anything good in October that you think I absolutely have to read, please comment it below. I would love to know what you guys read. I'm always looking for more recs, so let a girl know. And if you made it to the end of this video, comment the wolf emoji. Seems fitting for our top 2 books this month. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye. Bruno says bye. Peace. He might look annoyed, but he's purring.